Discovering Vietnam, embracing collective vibes, and mastering the motorbike commute puzzle.
Talk about that story.
Oh yeah, this is a simple answer. As academia typically requires people to move around, especially if you want to accelerate your, and that also, I think, also was happening with me in the industry. So one way, the quickest way to be promoted is to move around. And when I realized that after 6 years in Paris and two French business schools, I knew that I have reached the maximum that I could have, like a exponential growth in that setting. I realized, and there was one story or one event from the second French business school. It had collaboration with the University of Massachusetts in Boston. And they sent me to teach a course from end February to beginning of April, 6 weeks. And I arrived to UMass Boston and everything was fine. And every person, the teachers and program managers said, but don't plan any teaching in the March, the mid-March. They said, the student's going to go to Florida. And they've been repeating this, all the students going to go to Florida. And then I remember, I have a good friend, my mentor, Mike, he's in Florida. I'm going to go to Florida. I think it turned out that I'm the only one who went to Florida and all the students stayed there. But you might know that winters in Boston are quite severe. It's really cold, especially end of February. And then suddenly mid-March, and I happen to be the same country, and there is like a minus 15 Celsius in Boston, and there's plus 20 Celsius in Florida. And it don't ever change the place of my university. There are universities everywhere. So I intentionally applied to the universities that are not far from the equator. So that was my strategy. And I've got 2 proposals. The other one was also from not far. It was from Middle East, but this was more in alignment with myself. So yes, and I strongly believe we as scientists and creators, it's not that much important where exactly in which university we are, unless it's a good condition, place to work, which is here because it's also Australian in Vietnam. Then the rest is you can and you distribute and you communicate. So, and I love to be in Vietnam.
So I'm sure before you decided to move here, like you did a research, you went on the internet, Google stuff, like did all that kind of stuff. But once you got here, what's something that surprised you, right? Like you didn't know about Vietnam. Okay, this is nowhere in the papers. Google, what about this, man? This is really nice. I really like this about Vietnam.
Collectivism. Well, for me, it's a little bit easier to relate because I said I grew up in Soviet Union. I can read the situations a little better than the people who never were related to those. And the example is this. I ride a motorbike here, like basic one, like many million of other people here. And the traffic is...
That's a nice way to put it. That's a very political way to put it.
And here it is. At the beginning, I didn't know how it works. And I could suggest if somebody wants to start riding a motorbike here, you come and you initially call for these motorbike taxis and sit at the back and see how they ride through the traffic. You learn by observational learning, one of the foundations of social learning theory as well. And I learned that. And I rode a motorbike when I was in my adolescent years. So now when I see somebody left turn across 7 lanes, if that happens in Europe, everybody would be, depends on the country. If a Latin country, they'll be, oh, what's going on? If it would be like a German or maybe somebody, oh, maybe beeping or like very frustrated. Here, you just beep so that the person knows that you see the person and you're not gonna ride over them. Yeah. That means there is the beeping is the communication so that we see each other and we're not gonna do harm. So it's a communication of that. And if that's happening, that means all the collective other 279 riders are just letting that person to make the left turn, because if you're gonna need it, everybody else will do it for you. That's so fascinating, and it just works.
Yeah, one thing is like I've been riding the back of a grab bike since I've been here. One thing I notice now, you quickly notice like what motorbike or what personal flow, they do collective things, and then you see, okay, this person, what the hell is this person doing? Like they're doing something like not in the flow, or good now, right?
Just to continue your story is, there are exceptions, and then there are these people with the hoodies and with the glasses, and they are covered like this in this movie, The Invisible Person or something. I don't judge. There are differences in the sunlight and everything, and the polluted air as well. But those riders are not shifting as they sit.
They're usually like on the right hand lane, going like 30 miles an hour, real slow. They're not weaving in and out stuff.
So by their outfit, that this is their riding style, and that's fine with them and fine with everyone else, because if you see them, you know what to expect, which means nothing. There will be a straight line, and then you see that the other people just see other ones. It's amazing. I just went on holidays recently, and of course, when you happen to be in another country where they ride on the left side, and the other challenge is you realize you are not anymore the majority in the cars, and the cars don't pay attention to you. And I got that very strong revelation.